Hi and welcome to this next video on the series about creating a landing page with different page builders for WordPress. So this one is about Brizy. Brizy is fairly new, few months old. There's a lot of followers that really like this one. Personally, you'll see that for my specific need, this is probably not the easiest one to use, and I'll explain why after you've seen me build this page. You will see, just a little warning here, that I'm putting some classes here and there, but there's no way to style them inside of Brizy right now. They told me that it's in development. It's going to be released in a future update. But right now we can assign classes, but we cannot style any of it. So there's no way to do that either manually or through typing code. So I will need to do that at the end, as you will see, in the WordPress editor itself. So let's dive in and build the page. All right, so as you could have seen, there were some challenges, to say the least. First of all, it took me 35 minutes, which is around 10 to 15 minutes more than with the others. And that's actually pretty good, almost 36 minutes. And that's actually pretty good because all my other tests were more than 40 minutes. So that's the first thing. Secondly, you have seen that throughout my development, like I said, I have few challenges. First of all, like many others, we cannot have a box with everything, of course, the background and so on, will be full width. So I had to do like with others, create some CSS style to make it maximum width of 1200. Okay, so it's not the only one that I needed to do that, so that's not too bad. It looks like I forgot to put that one in H3 because it's not in capitals, so let me do that quickly. So while I'm there, I'm going to go with few other things as well. So let's see, H3 and H3. So this is one of the things that is pretty strange. Even if I select something, even if I copy it, as soon as I double click on it to edit the content, it loses its style. Well, at least when I start typing, to be honest. It loses style and it's reset to the small black font. So I always need to come and change the color. Not even sure that's the right color right now. Yeah, no, not exactly. So defaults to the default color, defaults to the default size and font and so on. So even if we copy something, we're not really, there's no really advantage of our dragging from the library again because we need to restyle everything. That's pretty strange. Seems that it's by purpose, but I really don't like that. Then we always need to kind of click on that little button here to style it. So I'm taking the H3 style, typography. But then I still need to come here and specify H3 for the HTML tag. Because if I don't do that, it will take the look of an H3 or heading 3, but it will still be a paragraph, which is really bad for SEO purpose. Some people that I've talked with actually said that it was a good thing because they wanted to have a different size and so on. But that's honestly really rare that you want to do something like that. So if it's a couple of percent of the time, then we're left with having to do that every time for 99% of the time. Sorry, and it's actually a bad thing for SEO because if you don't know about that and you don't change that, that's really bad. What else? I don't like the people that like Brizy. Like the fact that this toolbar is close to the content without having a big box on the side, for example. I personally, well, that's a good thing in a certain way, but it's so limited. It's so limited the number of things that you can have there that I almost always have to click here to have more elements and then click on more settings to go there. And as you can see, there's still not too many settings that we can change there. The advanced, in fact, is padding, margin, and sometimes a little bit more like borders and things like that. As you can see, for rows, we just have the settings for top and bottom margin, padding, sorry, sometimes margin, not even on each side and so on. And the advanced is almost only for CSS class and a couple of other things. So really limited what we can do with that. Of course, they will argue that it's still young, but I don't believe that it's a good argument because Elementor, even in its few version, was really more complete than this one. So some people seems that they really like that, but anyway, for example here, another one that I needed to use CSS to make that capital Of course, you can always type that yourself, but like I said in other videos, it's not good practice. You should do that through CSS instead. So what else? Oh, images. All my images seem blurry, and I don't really understand how that works. We import an image, we always have to specify the size in percent, never in pixel, and that's again by purpose. I don't understand that at all. At least let me change that percent sign to px or something like that. Really weird that we have to specify a percentage, trying to calculate what's the right amount, and of course image can be blurry because of that. And in this particular case, I had to create my 3 columns to make it the right percentage, and then delete them and recreated them. And even there, one image I had to delete it and recreate it again. Really strange. Another strange thing you might have seen sometime, that for example, if I edit that text here, and sometimes when I go here and type something and I hit the tab key, instead of going to the next element, especially if I just edit one part like that, instead of editing that, it goes there and changes the text. It replaces the text with a tab. And even if I do an undo, it doesn't give me the text back. So you see an example of that in the video. So I need to redo all my text again. So that's weird. Again, really strange behavior, and even the undo doesn't work. So I don't know if it's considered a bug or not, if it's by purpose, but really strange again. What else about text? I think that I had something else to say about text, but anyway, that's really strange here. Beside that, of course, I needed to add some CSS, and now my image is not visible anymore. I needed to put really big because I needed to change that later on with some CSS. So again, percentage of the width of the sections, I needed to go with percentage, no pixel value there again. Oh yeah, about text. If I want to have something different, remember for example here, for that quote here, it's 72 pixel. Now I cannot select it back anymore, but anyway, it's 72 pixel. So I had to go from the default 16 pixel for my paragraph all the way up to 72 by clicking on the little up or down arrows. There's no way to select the text and type 72. That's why I stopped at one point, just to show you that I'm trying to select it. There's no way to select it. I really need to click up until 72. That's really strange, really long and time consuming. I really don't like that behavior. So again, I don't know if it's by purpose or not, but really strange the way it thinks. So again, some people say that it's the best page builder that sorry, that they've used. Not my opinion at all. Now, if I try to do like I did with all the others and put it back to full width, then it's going to be, of course, in this particular case, pretty simple, since I simply need to come and remove my CSS that I created. Oh, by the way, another strange thing here, it does create section, which is a good thing, instead of just a regular div. But as you can see, each time that I needed to style my H1, H2, and so on, I need to specify H1 span, because there's always a span inside the H1 tag, the H2 tag, and so on. So again, really strange. And then I used all caps for a couple of texts like this one, for example, and others. And I needed to go inside the code to see why it didn't work, because some did work, but some others not. And then I realized that I needed to use this really long syntax selector that we call to be able to change that paragraph. So again, really strange, and I needed to use the important keyword there as well, because it wasn't enough just to use uppercase. So, a lot of things to do there. So anyway, if I want to have it full width, I just have to remove that. and now I'm back to full width. Now, the next thing that I usually do is trying to work with mobiles. Let's say that I refresh that to have the latest version. Working with mobiles, and this is even worse. First of all, if I click here, you see that you just have desktops and mobiles. You don't have tablets. Again, it's supposed to be coming. But there's a lot of things like that that I feel that it's an unfinished product. It should have been there from the start, not 6 months later. But anyway, it's supposedly coming. I know they're working on a pro version, but it's not a pro feature. So will it be released after the pro? I don't know. But anyway, there's no tablet view. So if I switch to mobile view, so tablet, like I said, we must forget about that. Then my images are getting bigger, so I will need to change the percentage. I'm not even sure that it will change it only for that. I even can't. As you can see, I can't change the percentage or the size of the image just for that. Okay, yeah, there it is. Sorry, my mistake. But I don't know what it is. I would need to again calculate against the final product. So that's pretty weird. Not all the settings can be changed. There are less settings than the regular one. Here I will have a really hard time trying to resize my columns and change my border. I did try it before doing this video, and it was a pain in the you know what. So really hard to do that, and I don't remember if I was able to finally do it, but it was really a pain, honestly. Again, that brings back that image there, so that's probably just because I'm in development. I honestly, probably it will be alright if I go it like that. Let's say if I toggle my mobile view, it will probably still be floating. So yeah. Okay, but then again, I just need to remove that border from the mobile version, and it's not really easy to do so. Change some margin here and so on. Really a pain, and not easy to do so, and not all the settings, like I said, are available. So I'm not even sure that I'm gonna try, to be quite honest. Let's say if I change that, and again, this is another thing, to align my text. Instead of saying align center, I need to click once, and it was centered by default, so I had to first align it to the right and then align it back to the left. Strange behavior. So if I do it like that, will it only be on mobile, or it will change that for every screen size? Okay, that's okay. At least it changes that just for mobiles. So anyway, a little bit negative review, to be honest, here as compared to all the others that we have used so far. This is really, in my opinion, the worst of them all. There are worse than that out there, to be honest, but when we're talking about the top ones, this is really far from being the top one. So anyway, give your opinion in the comments below. If you are working with Brizy, you like Brizy, and you see that I'm doing something that I shouldn't do, just put it in the comment. Tell me how you would do that, or why you like Brizy. And of course, you can always subscribe to this channel by using the subscribe button, and you will have a little bell that will tell you when there are new content. So thank you. We're gonna have another video upcoming. We still have few versions, maybe with Beaver Builder, DV, and some others. So thank you. One more thing, I just realized that I forgot to do the speed test. So here it is with GT Matrix and Pingdom. Again, the overall loading time, you must not necessarily take that into account, because it will always change from depending on the day, the time of the day, and so on. So it's not the most important thing. And of course, the performance score, I didn't optimize that. I must say that for this particular video, I had to create another site for Brizy, so it's not the same one as the others. So there might be some plugins that were not activated and things like that. That might explain some things. But to be quite honest, Brizy puts a lot of empty divs and nested divs. It's really crazy the amount of code that it puts there. But strangely, I was really surprised that it doesn't really add to the weight of the page. Because as you can see, for example, 442 kilobytes here is the best so far. Really surprising, even beats Thrive Architects and so on. Same thing for the amount of requests. It's the same thing as Oxygen, one less than Architect. So it's about the same as the others. So loads time, I think it's a little bit slower, but again, it can depend on the day and so on. So I was really surprised on that score because of what I just told you. The code itself is really ugly to see, to say the least. Same thing for Pingdom here. So 532, that's way more here than Thrive Architect, but less than Elementor and Oxygen. So again, and same thing here, this is the one that has the least request. Again, we must take into account though that we didn't develop the mobile side, and we had to do a couple of things manually in the custom CSS, so that might influence the good score that we have. Maybe the score would be a little bit worse if we had those things. So especially the mobile and tablets, CSS and so on. So that's probably why it's a little bit lighter. But overall, let's say in general, it's about the same thing as the others. But honestly, like I said again, the code is really bloated. If you know a little bit about HTML, let's say for example, just that image here. As you can see, it's inside the source. We have a picture tag here. We have a few nested divs. And we always have one div here that is completely empty, just for an overlay or background color, I don't know. Again, I think that they already mentioned that they wanted to come back and revisit the code to make it more optimal. But again, why doing that after? Why not doing all of that before releasing the final product? I feel that they were in a rush to release the product because of the competition, or I don't know, maybe they were out of money, I don't know. But I really feel that they rushed the release, and now they come back and try to improve some things. Of course, all builders, all plugins have to correct bugs and things like that. But some of those things, like the nested divs here, the way that images are handled and things like that, these are made by purpose. So that's why I cannot say that it's really a bug like all the other page builders or any plugin. So that's why I feel a little bit like it's an unfinished product. But anyway, this is my opinion. You can give me your opinion below. So thank you.